This is only the beginning, Mario.
Welcome to I'm Your Target Demographic, and welcome to my review for Just Cause 3, available on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Just Cause 3 is a game focused on freedom and choice, giving you a huge open world to explore and bases to attack in a variety of ways. Let's set the stage. You're in a fictional Mediterranean country where an evil dictator rules, so you go on a quest to defeat him and liberate the country city by city. While there are structured missions to go on, most of your time will be spent liberating cities and taking over military outposts. In both of these scenarios, you're given a checklist of things to do, usually revolving around destroying everything that's colored red. When you do this, the enemies disappear and your own allies now populate the area, as well as vehicles for you to now use to get to the next objective. Tackling these cities and outposts is really rewarding, as it's up to you how to do this. Sometimes you go in with a truck full of allies and face your enemies head on. Sometimes you charge in with a rocket launcher and systematically take out the structures. And sometimes, if you're lucky, you can attack from a distance with an armed helicopter, liberating an outpost without ever stepping foot on the ground. The difficulty of liberating these cities is varied. Some are easy, where you can just blast away. Other outposts have anti-air missiles or helicopters that will seek you out, or tanks. The difficulty of this game can swing drastically, from fun and thoughtless destruction to an all of a sudden where did these 5 tanks come from and utter obliteration. At first I thought it was frustrating how often you would die in these scenarios, but you quickly learn how to survive, and the game luckily is pretty good about respawning you close to the area that you were attacking. And it saves your progress, so if you go in and destroy a few landmarks, when you respawn you don't need to redo any of that. You can chisel away piece by piece at these huge military outposts. The downside to the respawning is that a couple of story missions respawn you at a point where it's difficult to continue. One I had to replay probably 15 times because you had to protect these supply boxes, but it would respawn with half health, and it only took a few attacks for them to be destroyed. There were a few moments like that made me almost rage quit the game or try to reload from an earlier save point. When you're not attacking things, you're traveling this gorgeous open world, and the game gives you a few fun ways to do this. You've got a grappling hook, you've got a parachute, and you have an amazing wingsuit that you can use to travel in style. It took me some time to learn how to use these properly, especially stringing them together, but eventually it was a very relaxing and satisfying experience. The world is beautiful and varied, which is necessary for the amount of time that you spend getting from point to point. While there are tons of cities to liberate and outposts to destroy, there's almost too much to do. I barely touched any of the challenges that pop up over the map because I was already getting fatigued. There are over 100 cities and outposts to liberate, and while you get freedom in how you tackle them, the basics are the same. I had to eventually focus on the story missions just to finish the game and move on to something else. Doing the challenges might yield fun upgrades, but I wouldn't be able to invest that much more time. The amount of content is a detraction, mostly because of repetition. You spend a lot of time shooting in this game, and the shooting mechanics aren't very tight, usually because your crosshairs turn into your grappling hook icon, which doesn't always line up with where you're shooting. So I'd waste a clip of ammo realizing I was shooting a few feet off from the target. This is an easy fix to figure out, but newer players might find this frustrating. Overall, some weird mechanics, repetitive liberation objectives, a huge map that requires a lot of travel time, and some weird choices with mission fail respawn points all detract from this really fun and gorgeous game that gives you tons of freedom and creativity. In the end, there are some great ideas here, but the execution is a little off. I'm going 3 out of 5, but I'm excited for what'll come next now that some of these foundational pieces are all figured out. Thanks for watching.
Yes, he's here.